Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching a very special edition of the Oilers Rundown. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at future Edmonton Oilers, Sam O'Reilly and William Nicholl, currently members of the OHL's London Knights. I'm joined today by John Champ, London Knights insider and expert, and John is going to give me all of his inside information on Sam O'Reilly and William Nicholl to share with you in the Oilers fan base. John, thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. Oilers Fanatic. We do like to watch it. Your aunt and I enjoy following you, and actually we're very, very proud of you.
Aw. So, John, my first question for you today. The London Knights have a tradition of excellence. As a lifelong Knights fan, what have you seen the Knights do that makes them so successful?
Well, Patrick, lifetime, at least 50 years I've cheered and followed the Knights. Many times, mostly from the couch, but Friday night is special in our house where I watch the London Knights and, as my wife would say, talk to the referees too much on the TV, but that's another subject. The thing that has really been exciting about the Knights is the first 25 years they were so-so. They played in a small arena on the outskirts of the city, 4,500 fans, and then Dale and Mark Hunter came along and changed everything. They bought the new arena downtown, which everyone said would fail, but no, they bought a 9,000 seat arena, which up to date is sold out for just about every game. The Hunters brought a different mentality about winning and losing. They, if you ask any London Knight in the NHL, they'll say, "I'm here because of the Hunters." So the Hunters have two systems that maybe I find interesting. One is that they bring in a draft pick at 16-year-old for a junior, and from the day he walks in until he's drafted, he's trained to be an NHL hockey player. That's their goal. That's kind of their mandate. So they learn this system. And the other system is, and this was what happened to O'Reilly, and it also happened to Nichols, is that when a young draft 16-year-old comes in, like O'Reilly, the Knights have two junior B teams that are affiliates. And what they will do is they will place these young guys on these junior B teams, which is above a AAA team. And so they're playing at a better level, but not quite the Knights level. And they will play for them for the first year. And what they also, though, are entitled to is they go to every single Knights practice. So they're keeping their skills up, but they're also learning the London Knights way, the X's and O's. Hunters never said what the X's and O's are, but they learn that, and they still get to play. So what you have is then, as a 17-year-old, they're fully developed, they know the complete system, and they're no longer a rookie. And what that in turn does, as for Sam O'Reilly, made him a number one draft pick for our Oilers. So that's kind of an exciting thing that Dale and Mark have brought.
Well, thank you, John, for that amazing insight. Interesting to learn the X's and O's of the London Knights. Question number 2 I had, what has impressed you the most about the growth you've seen with Sam O'Reilly and William Nicholl with the London Knights?
Well, kind of getting back to what I said about playing on the Junior B, when they come up, they only play a couple games and you don't notice them that much. But when they've gone through this system, when they come up in that third year, they are fully developed. They are faster, they're stronger, and game conscious. I think that's the big thing, is that they are aware of the situations. And to the fact, what I've noticed is that Dale Hunter rewards playing time by work ethic, purely and simple. And you work hard in practice, you get ice time. Well, these two have worked really, really hard, and now Hunter uses them in all situations. They will play 5-on-5, they'll play penalty kill, power play, and mostly important, which I think is really important, is at the end of the game, when the game's on the line, you'll see either O'Reilly or Nichols taking the draw in their own end. And to me, that's very impressive and something to really look forward to, I think, in the future for the Oilers. That, two very valuable centers, two very valuable players for the power play and the penalty kill are coming.
Absolutely. I mean, you can never have, we see it all over the NHL. You can never have enough center depth, and to add two young guys with the kind of skill that they have, especially Sam O'Reilly, I can't wait to see them as Edmonton Oilers. Absolutely. My next question, Where do you project Sam O'Reilly and William Nicholl as NHLers? For instance, first line, second line, and when do you see them making the jump to the NHL?
Well, I knew you would ask this question because we've had a little thing going this year where Sam O'Reilly was not going to stay with the Oilers,
Yes.
and you predicted that he would.
Despite what I want.
So in junior, there's a rule that up to 4 years of playing, you either stay on the team the whole season, like it would be if O'Reilly would have stayed, he would have had to play the whole year with the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
And probably would have sat on a fourth line at best and been out a lot. As is, he came back. So if the Oilers don't keep him the whole time, he has to go back to the junior team.
Yeah.
And then with the junior team this year, he played on the top line with Cowan and Barkey, and they won a Mem Cup. It's just was when they were one of the best lines. So I still think that he has another year. I don't know if that's the best thing for him, his development after going 2 years to the Memorial Cup, but there are no options other than, again, to stay on the team the whole year. So he may stay the whole year, and he may come back to the Knights. If he comes back to the Knights, I see him as a captain and at least a letter, and also playing probably for Team Canada this year, the juniors. So otherwise, I see him playing as probably a second or third line center for the Oilers in 2 years, maybe three, a little bit of minor just to build up strength. For Nicholl, he's not at the same level where O'Reilly is yet, but this year I've seen huge improvement. He's extremely fast, and I think that's a big improvement this year. And if that continues to develop, I think he needs a little more confidence in his abilities of going to get the puck, but his being a center is amazing. His skill on penalty killing is amazing. So I think maybe a couple years in the minors, maybe 3 years, and then I would see him maybe as a third or fourth line Oiler.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Sam O'Reilly might get the full 9 games with the Edmonton Oilers this year, and then probably get sent back. William Nicholl, I'm sure, will be back before then. But yeah, I kind of agree with that assessment. I could very well see in a couple years' time Sam O'Reilly, the third line center, William Nicholl, the fourth, and I'm sure one of those guys could even play the wing if needed to. Yeah. So yeah.
And I think with today's cap space, that your juniors that are coming up are in many of the teams are really important to fill in that cap space with the 3-year minimum salary cap that they have for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, my next question. Who is your favorite London Knight of all time and why?
That's a very easy one. I'm sure you know. Corey Perry. He's just...
There's a reason I asked that question.
Hey, he's second on the team in scoring in the playoffs? So what's not to like about him? Corey Perry has been one of my favorite Knights. And I mean, as we discussed at the dinner table, I picked my favorite Knights by Knights who win a Memorial Cup for me. And he was in on the first Memorial Cup. He also played on the team of the century because the year that he played for the Knights, there was no NHL. So all the NHLers stayed in their junior years and played. So that was quite an accomplishment. He's won everything. He's won a junior championship. He's won a junior world championship. He's won a Stanley Cup. He's won a world championship. He's won a gold medal. And, well, there's only 2 or 3 guys in the NHL, if you want to hopefully do your fact check on me, that have won that. So that's pretty impressive. And I guess the other thing I like about him is that as much as I'm a Crosby fan, when Rimouski played London for the Memorial Cup in the finals, Perry's job was assigned to cover Crosby. And in that game, Perry took a really bad hit to the head. In today's world, you would call that a concussion. Back in 20 years ago, it was called keep on playing, which he did. Mm-hmm. Mind you, can you possibly see Corey Perry having to go to a quiet room?
No.
Either do I.
It wouldn't be very quiet after he got there.
It wouldn't be very quiet. So anyways, he stayed on the ice. And as the history goes, Crosby got 0 points with Perry and the team covering him, and the Knights won 4-0. So how can I not like him as my favorite Knight?
Absolutely. Well, to wrap up here, we're talking London Knights. Any interesting facts you wanted to share with the audience?
I have one fact that ties back into. I thought about this here, and I'm sure you may not have heard this one. It'd be interesting for you to find out. When I talked about the Knights system that Dale Hunter brought in of bringing his draft picks and playing them in the minors, back when there was the 6-team NHL, long before your time, but in my time, Montreal Canadiens, who by the way have won more Stanley Cups than anybody, used to send all their junior A draft players to the minors for 2 to 3 years seasoning. Did Dale Hunter learn that from them? I don't know, but it's worked for Montreal, who's won the most cups, and now the Knights have 7 OHL championships, 3 Memorial Cups in the years that the Knights have been coached by Dale Hunter.
There you have it, guys. It's a team of excellence. It's a team that the Edmonton Oilers really love. We got Corey Perry, Evan Bouchard, Max Jones. Am I forgetting anybody else off the top of my head? I think I covered everybody there, but as you always say, John, there's a London Knight involved with a Stanley Cup champion every year. Matthew Tkachuk on the other side with those...
That's a bad word. We don't use that as an Oilers fan right now.
With those darn Florida Panthers. But, yeah, it's a team of excellence, so I just wanted to share this information with you guys. John, thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, plenty more coming your way. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.